Hello. As usual, I forget I exist and stop uploading for 10 years. And then I come back and I say, I want to start uploading again. But I'm gonna just upload when I remember and when I feel like it. I like doing YouTube and stuff, so that doesn't make sense. I think I live outside of time, to be honest. That's the only thing that makes sense to why I click a message and then when I'm responding it's 2 years later. But I've gotten really into reading and I've posted some reviews, book reviews on TikTok, and they didn't do very well, but I really enjoyed filming them. I've started reading it again in August, and I used to read as a teenager, so I've always loved reading. I got to be a teen and I just stopped for some reason. And well, obviously you're a teenager, you got other stuff you want to do, like go get drunk in bushes and things like that. But then all my 20s I didn't read and I missed it, and I kept trying to get back into reading, and then I'd just not be able to, like a lot of people know what I'm talking about when I say you can't take it in, your brain just won't shut up. And I read the whole page, realize I've not taken anything in, even pages, and realize I've read the words but they're not in my head. Like I was in a daydream. Why read? why are you reading? But like, so it would just be like that, and I'm like, well, I just don't have it in me to read anymore. My brain just won't let me focus. Although I did read a few books. I read Irregular, all my adulthood until this August. And then this August, why did I get into reading again? I don't know if we were walking past Waterstones or something, because like my agoraphobia, I've started going out every so often. Anyway, I ended up buying a book, the Hacienda, and then I got a bunch of other books and read those, and then started going to the library. 20 or 30 books since August, and it's New Year's Eve at the moment. The book I'm reading at the moment is so thick as well, and it's by my new favourite author. It's like 600 and something pages. Also, look at this bookmark. He got me it for Christmas. It's a feather. I don't want to pull it, I don't want to break it. But yeah, so I'm really back into reading now. It feels like it did when I was a kid and teenager, like that feeling I get when I read, but it's just really nice. And sometimes, yeah, I do zone out. Sometimes my brain won't shut up. I've got things on my mind and I do have to reread something over and over. So yeah, I really love talking about books, but I thought I'd give you the compilation of the book reviews I did that didn't do very well on TikTok, but maybe you can appreciate them, I don't know. And also get book recommendations. And if you want a book recommendation, my new favourite book is The Adventures of Amina al-Sirafi by Shannon Chakraborty. And because I read that book and enjoyed it so much, 10 out of 10 stars, I'm reading all her other books, which I think she just has 4 more. It's a trilogy and then an extra book on the trilogy, I think. I'm on the second, that's this big one. I'm on the second book now of the trilogy. I'm really enjoying it. Slewfoot, I really enjoyed that, but there's a part of animal cruelty in it that really ruined the book for me, and I don't think I'll be able to reread it. I don't know why men have to do that. Like, there was another book I was reading and it's good, but why do you have to do this? Why do you have to put such horrifying things in your books? Oh, someone you can build a nest in. I suggest that. If you don't like romance or are asexual or something like that, that's a really good book. Hopefully see you soon. Enjoy the reviews. Bye. Oh, and Happy New Year. Books I read recently and my opinions on them. I'll start with a bad one. Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I got that far, and I just stopped reading it. A few reasons. A scene that I don't know how anyone could bring themselves to write it, first of all, and to read it was just really, if you've got like PTSD on SA or like child stuff, I don't recommend this. It's really graphic, and for what reason? And then also, but I got past that part, and I'm like, it must be for a reason. Not yet, it's not been. And I just found my mind drifting whilst I was reading it. A lot of people love this book, and apparently it's a series, and there's a reason why she's building the world so thoroughly, people have told me. But I just found it boring. I might give it another chance starting from here. I'm not going to read that beginning bit again, but I might give it another chance. But for now it's a 2 out of 10. This one is Cackle by Rachel Harrison. It's kind of like Gilmore Girls town vibes in a way, but like with female friendships is like the main thing of it. And the main character was annoying in parts, but I think that's the point, and there's a lot of character development. But I did enjoy this. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Then these are the ones I got from the library. For the first time I went to a library, and oh my god, I got all of these for free. This is like £80 worth of books I got for free from the library, as long as I take them back when I'm done. First I got this. I reserved this one because I knew I wanted to read this next, because someone said it's similar to Belladonna. I enjoyed this. I really enjoyed this. It's gothic-y, and it's kind of dark fantasy, but it is set in like a modern time. I didn't know that when I thought it was like 1800s stuff, because that's what I feel like reading at the moment, but it wasn't. I don't really want to say too much without spoilers, but I recommend this book. I'd give it an 8 out of 10. And then after that, these 3 I just got just based on the blurbs and the look of the book. But it's so weird because I got this not knowing anything else about it, and it's so similar to that one. First of all, both of the main characters go to the house where their favourite author, who is now dead, lived in. They both are obsessed with this book, and they basically study this book for hidden meanings about the story. In both there's a man there, like similar, and then it's just similar without giving it away. It's just so similar. But I enjoyed this as well. I didn't enjoy it as much as that, but I did enjoy it, and I would recommend this too. I'd give it a 6.5. And then I read this one. This is the first book from this author, apparently, and it's about 2 sisters who like con people. I think it's in the 1800s. They con people out of like to exorcise ghosts, and they con people and stuff. I enjoyed it up until maybe here, just under halfway, but then my mind drifted and I found myself speed reading, which is not a good sign, because it's the same story from a different perspective, and by the time that, before this part had wrapped up, I'd already known all the twists that was going to happen. So all this new perspective, I was like, yeah, what else? Like, I knew that when I was reading this part. I kind of knew that, so it's like written in a way like, oh, and you didn't know this is what was actually happening. I'm like, yeah, I knew. But it's still, I would still recommend it, especially considering it's the first book from the author. It's really good. I love the cover as well. But yeah, I would recommend that as 6 out of 10. And then this one, Fascination by Essie Fox. I've gotten that far. It's a really cool looking book. I don't find it fascinating. Again, I found myself speed reading and zoning out. I couldn't get into it. And also, this is so similar to this book. It's like I just read similar books. They're both about sisters who con people out of money. Both have really terrible fathers. Both mothers are dead. And I'm sure there's other similarities as well, both in the 1800s. But it's like, what are the chances that these 2 books would be similar and then these 2 books would be similar? But I've seen some reviews on this saying it's good, and I think if I could get past here, I'd I could enjoy it, so I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10. But again, I've only read that much, and all of these books have people who review them and absolutely love them, by the way, so this is just my opinion. Books that I have read that have been on my Halloween to be read list and what I thought of them. So the first one I read was the Hacienda by Isabel Cañas, I think. It's got a nice atmosphere to it. The main character is likeable. I like the main character. The story is interesting, and I would give that one a 7 out of 10. Then next I read Slewfoot by Brom, which I absolutely adored that book, and it would be a 10 out of 10, but there was just one thing that really brought the whole book down, and for what reason? For no good reason. And now I don't know if I'll be able to reread it, and it's because there's a traumatic animal death in the book. I'm not going to say more than that, but it didn't add anything, and now it's like, well, I can't really read it because I know that happens, and it's why did you have to do that? It would be a 10 out of 10. And if you cannot be bothered by not be affected by stuff like this, I really suggest reading it. Slewfoot is a 9 out of 10. Then I read Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, and I've already talked about this in a different book review video. I got that far, so that says that. Then I read Belladonna. I absolutely loved that book. The main character, I really, really liked the main character. I like how she was surrounded by death growing up but still had a positive outlook. I found her so cute. But then she's like letting the hormones take over a little bit when it's like, shouldn't you be worrying about the person you're trying to save the life of? Like, and you just thinking about what's under someone's clothes, basically. One thing I will say is I don't really enjoy reading romance. So like if there's romance in a book, I can read it, but I'd prefer there wasn't any. And in that one there is some romance, but it's not the main big focus of it. Belladonna, 8 out of 10. I just got the second one, and I think there's a third one as well. Then I read Cackle. After reading all of these books, I've read even more that I've not even mentioned because they weren't even on my Halloween list. I just went to the library and just picked up any I thought looked kind of Halloween-y. I've reviewed these two non-Halloween books, and I can't find it. And then I go into bookshops, I go into libraries, and there's literal Christmas books. There's so many Christmas, but there's no Halloween books. So I got this because at least it says pumpkin, and I don't know, it says it's a season to fall in love, and I don't like romance, but apparently it's cute and it's good, so I'm going to read it anyway. And then I started reading it. I got as far as the dedication, and then I closed it and I just had to go do something else because it says, "To the beardiest, most flannel-wearing guy I know." I was like, okay, let me read that later. If it's romance between women, I can actually enjoy that. Sometimes there's a book I'm wanting to read, I can't remember the name of it, but I think that's sapphic. I can enjoy those, but if there's a man in the romance, oh my god, another book I read that was suggested for Halloween was The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, by Sangu Mandanna, I think. People love that book, so don't let what I'm about to say about it stop you from buying it. But I really didn't like it. There was parts of it I liked, and there was cute stuff I liked, but it felt like the main character and some of the other characters were framed in a way like, oh, we're very closed off people, we don't open up easily. But then every conversation they had was a heart-to-heart opening up conversation from the beginning of the book, basically. And it didn't build up to it, it was just constantly that. And then the oh my god, the love interest, I absolutely hate that guy. He's so aggressive. For what? Like, he's swearing, confessing a love in his head to her, and like swearing and being aggressive with it. It's like, okay, calm down. And then there's a sex scene, and I don't cringe. I stopped cringing, but if I cringed, I would have cringed at that, and I don't know how else to I don't know how else to call it except for cringy. I just didn't enjoy it. Books I've read recently and my thoughts on them. We'll start with the worst one. Whoever recommended this, have you actually read it? Everyone said it's so cute, it's so cozy, it's Halloweeny. I've been struggling to find a Halloween book, so I tried this one thinking, well, at least it's got pumpkins in. It's just smut. I don't like romance, so that has something to do with it, but I looked up if it was written by AI, but I read it all. And when it got to finally Halloween Day where there was these big things going on, and I was like, finally, this is why I'm here. They went and then started doing stuff and then just ran through all the town away from all the Halloween events to go do it again. And he's just grabbing her ass all through the book. And then at the end, he finally grabs her full ass. That's a development, I guess. That is, I don't know what difference that is to just when he's grabbed whatever. One out of 10. Maybe 2 because I actually could get. I don't know how I got through it, but I actually managed to read it. But it looks so cute, and it's not. Next is Follow Me to Ground. The reviews on this one said it's really weird, really scary book, and people saying things like, wow, this actually scared me, and I put it in the freezer and stuff like that. I read it. It's quite short, luckily. I didn't find it scary at all. It's just gross. Yes, it's weird, but it's written in a way it follows a girl and a dad who aren't human and they like heal people in their village, but it's just written in a weird way. But that also kind of makes it so you can't really connect to the characters, and I struggled to care about anyone, and I didn't care about the characters. And also, it's a romance. It's a romance. Why is everything a romance? 3 out of 10. Next is The Toll House. This follows a woman who buys a toll house, half set in the 1800s and half set in Tesco times. There's no likable characters in this. There's not a single likable character. Again, it's a romance for some reason, and it's got an interesting story, but it's slowed down by pining for a man again, and it's just a man, like he's not a special man, he's not anything, and so he's just pining all throughout the book, and it just turns out to be a romance. It picks up towards the end, and the story is actually pretty interesting. 6 out of 10. Foxglove. This is a follow-up to Belladonna, which follows a girl who can't die and sees ghosts, and a rich orphan who's set to inherit her fortune when she turns 18. That's basically a summary of the book one. This one is the follow-on for it, and I highly recommend it. That Belladonna is a 9 out of 10. People prefer this one. I like this one slightly less, but I still really liked it. 8.5 out of 10. Next is this one. I just picked this one up because it's got Halloween on it, and again, I just wanted a Halloween book, and so I got this one. It was disappointing, but again, and also it's a romance. I really liked, one of the characters was really likable and cute, but they've drawn him on the cover. He wears really weird stuff that he's made from like knitting and stuff, and they've just drawn him to look normal. Anyway, there's Halloween in it, but then there's also like summer and stuff as well. 5. And then the Nightingales Castle. Oh my god, this book, I don't know why I liked it. It's the story of what was she called, the Baroness in the history, who in the 1600s, who bathed in blood, Baroness Bathory or something, Countess, Baroness. So it's a historical fiction. This book follows one of the servant girls who works in her castle. I can't think of why I love this so much, but it was just a joy to read, and I just never got bored. A lot of these ones, what I've reviewed, I ended up speed reading because it just, parts of it. I didn't speed read this at all. It was just so entertaining. The main character is likable. I can't even put my finger on why I enjoyed it so much, but it's just really nicely written. But I suggest that one. I forgot to say there's not really any romance in this, which is probably why I liked it as well, because the story wasn't slowed down by romance. And then the one I just finished today is Someone You Can Build a Nest In. I seem to have saved the best two for last, except for Foxglove, obviously. I knew that would be good. I don't know what I thought, like, this title, whatever you think, when you've read the first page, you're going to completely rethink what this means. But it follows a creature. This is technically a romance, but it's not physical attraction, and even if there are physical things that they like, it's like something I've never heard in a romance before. It's not like, you know, oh, the forearms or the whatever romances love to do. It's so refreshing and I enjoyed it. And also, it's not spicy. It's cute. It's gory. And I really suggest this. I really suggest this book. I really, really loved it. In fact, I read about probably a third of it just today. This morning I just woke up. And when I started reading it, I tend to kind of avoid books written by men just because I just don't want to be pissed off. But this one was written by a man, so I went into it ready to, you know, be pissed off. I was reading it, I was like, huh? I was like, this is not possible. How did a man write this? And there's no sign that a man wrote this in this book. No one boobily did anything. I really suggest this book. I absolutely love it. I rate this one 9 out of 10. And this one's also a 9 out of 10. Also, these ones are the ones I got from the library. I got them about 10 days ago and I've already gone through 5 of them. Plus, I think I don't know, I got really back into reading. I don't know if you can tell. But how amazing a library is. And if you have a library you can go to it. Oh my god, it's like shopping. You just walk around and get whatever you want. And then you can just take it home as long as you bring it back when you're done. I still can't wrap my head around that that's a thing. And also you can request books and get a library card, which is really easy, but this is like 7 books. And then I'm just reading this one now. This is the last one that I'm on. I've not read much of it.